Now for some music. Bring out the instruments.
Excuse me, I left mine in the porch.
Just bring mine in with you. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons steep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep, in hollow halls beneath the fells. For an ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword. On silver necklaces they strung the flowering stars, on crowns they hung the dragon fire, and twisted wry they meshed the light of moon and sun. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to claim our long forgotten gold. Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. There lay the long, and many a song was sung and heard by men or elves. The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light. Bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. Then dragons' eye more fierce than firelight low their towers and houses frail. The mountain smoked beneath the moon, the doors they heard the tramp of doom. They fled their hall to dying fall beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away ere break of day to win our hearts in gold from him. Where are you going?
What about a little light?
We like the dark. Dark for dark business. There are many hours before dawn.
Of course. Hush! Let Thorin speak. We are met to discuss our plans, our ways, means, policies, and devices. We shall soon, before the break of day, start on our long journey. A journey from which some of us, or perhaps all of us, except our friend and counselor, the ingenious wizard Gandalf, may never return. It is a solemn moment. Our object is, I take it, well known to us all, to the estimable Mr. Baggins, and perhaps to one or two of the younger dwarves. I think I should be right in naming Keely and Feely, for instance. The exact situation at the moment may require a little brief explanation. Beep! Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning! Excitable little fellow. Gets funny queer fits, but he is one of the best. One of the best. As fierce as a dragon. In a pinch. If you have ever seen a dragon in a pinch, you will realize that this was only poetical exaggeration applied to any habit, even to old Took's great-granduncle Bullroar, who was so huge for a hobbit that he could ride a horse. He charged the ranks of goblins of Mount Graham in the Battle of the Green Fields, and knocked their King Gulffimble's head clean off with a wooden club. It sailed 100 yards through the air and went down a rabbit hole. In this way the battle was won, and the game of golf invented at the same moment. In the meanwhile, however, Bullroar's gentler descendant was reviving in the drawing-room. After a while and a drink, he crept nervously to the door of the parlour. This is what he heard Glowin speaking. "Humph! Will you do? Do you think it is all very well for Gandalf to talk about this hobbit being fierce? But one shriek like that in a moment of excitement, and he would be enough to wake the dragon and all his relatives and
killed a lot of us. I think it sounded more like fright than excitement. In fact, if it had not been for the sign on the Hobbit store, I should have been sure we had come to the wrong house. As soon as I clapped my eyes on the little fellow bobbing and puffing on the mat, I had my doubts. He looks more like a grocer than a burglar. Pardon me, if I have overheard words that you were saying. I don't pretend to understand what you are talking about, or your reference to burglars, but I think I am right in believing that you think I am no good. I will show you. I have no signs on my door. It was painted a week ago, and I am quite sure you have come to the wrong house. As soon as I saw your funny faces on the doorsteps, I had my doubts, but treat it as the right one. Tell me what you want done, and I will try it. If I have to walk from here to the east of East and fight the wild wereworms in the last desert. I had a great-great-grand-uncle once, Bull Roarer Took, and... Yes, but that was long ago. I was talking about you, and I assure you there is a mark on the door. The usual one in the trade, or used to be. Burglar wants a good job, plenty of excitement, and reasonable reward. That's how it's usually read. You can say expert treasure hunter instead of burglar if you like. Some of them do. It's all the same to us. Gandalf told us there was a man of the sort in these parts looking for a job at once, and that he had arranged for a meeting here this Wednesday, tea time.
Of course there is a mark. I put it there myself, for very good reasons. You asked me to find the 14th man for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins. Just let anyone say I chose the wrong man or the wrong house, and you can stop at 13 and have all the bad luck you like, or go back to digging coal. He scowled so angrily at Glowin that the dwarf huddled back in his chair. That's right. Let's have no more argument. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. If I say he is a burglar he is, or will be when the time comes. There is a lot more in him than you guess, and a deal more than he has any idea of himself. You may, possibly, all live to thank me yet. Now, Bilbo, my boy, fetch the lamp, and let's have a little light on this.